Good morning, everyone. This is my presentation. My article is Evidence-Based Principles for How to Design Effective Instructional Videos. The author is Richard A. Mayer. And the first is about instruction. This article examines evidence-based principles for how to design effective instructional videos and shows how they are grounded in cognitive theories of learning and instruction. And principles include multimedia, coherence, signaling, redundancy, spatial contiguity, temporal contiguity, segmenting, pre-training, modality, personalization, voice, image, embodiment, and generative activity. From this article, people learn better from words and graphics than from words alone, and not all multimedia messages, including instructional videos, are equally effective. So we should explore evidence-based principles for how to design effective instructional videos. So the first is we should grounding in a cognitive theory of multimedia learning. There are three principles from the science of learning. The first one is dual channels. People have separate channels for processing visual and verbal information. The second is limited capacity. People can process only a few items in each channel in working memory at any one time. The third is active learning. Its meaning, learning requires that learner engage in appropriate cognitive processing during learning, including selecting, organizing, and integrating. And this article lists three demands on the learner's cognitive capacity during instruction. The first one is extraneous processing. It doesn't serve the instructional objective. It can be caused by poor instructional design. Second is essential processing. It aims at mentally representing the essential presented materials. It is caused by complexity of the material. The third is generative processing. It's aimed at making sense of the materials. It is caused by motivation to exert effort. So, based on this analysis, author derived three goals for instructional design of multimedia lessons. The first one is reducing extraneous processing. The second is managing essential for processing. The third is fostering generative processing. There are five ways to reduce extraneous processing. The first one is the Coherence Principle. It can avoid extraneous materials in slides and script. And the next one is Signaling Principle. It can highlight key material. The next is the Redundancy Principle. It doesn't add captions that repeat the spoken words. And the next one is the Spatial Contiguity Principle. It can place printed text next to corresponding part of the graphic. The last one is the Temporal Contiguity Principle. It can present corresponding visual and verbal material at the same time. There are three techniques for managing essential processing. The first technique is the segmenting principle. It can break a complex slide into progressively presented parts. The second is the pre-training principle. It avoids pre-training in the names and characters of key concepts. The third is modality principle. It presents words and spoken text. This article explores 5 techniques to foster generative processing. The first is the personalization principle. It suggests to use conversational language. And the next is voice principle. It suggests to use appealing human voice. The next one is image voice. It doesn't display the static image of the instructor's face. And the next technique is embodiment principle. It displays gesturing instructor. The last one is generative activity principle. It can insert generative learning activities. According to the author's examples and experiments, better teaching and learning results can be obtained by using these material principles. That's all. Thank you.